we refer to how they coddle women, right? So it starts right there as children, right? Women are coddled. Nobody has any type of sympathy or empathy for young boys, particularly black boys. We are just seen as something else. They do not care as much at all. And we're not
Care.
really going it's going to be tough for us to ever change that, right? Because for one, women don't have as much as an understanding of how young boys are, and they always want to throw you into the ADHD category, or oh, something's wrong with this guy. Oh, he's not supposed to be acting like that. Nobody has any type of patience that's required sometimes, especially now if you know that most of us are raised without a father. So there's going to be certain elements that we're missing that we would need people to compensate for, right? So you don't even have the understanding of it. You don't have the empathy for it. Where are we supposed to go? And you're not going to be able to change the fact that there's so many females in schools. It's always going to be like that. Women are interested in people. Men get jobs that are more concerning with things, right? That's why men are into STEM. Women are more into socially. And to be honest, it's easier. And most men don't go into those fields because they particularly don't pay as much as you would by going into the STEM field or things like construction or anything else like that. They're going to pay more in most cases, right? Unless if you get into nursing, that's one thing. But majority of jobs in STEM pay more than almost any social work that you could find out there. So we're already starting at a great disadvantage from the beginning. And we don't have the nourishment that's necessary because people just don't want to be bothered sometimes. I see how it is in some classrooms. Me in my urban neighborhood, I grew up in Newark, New Jersey. It was at least 31 of us in a class, and you have one lady there. I'd say 95% of my teachers were ladies, and there's 31 of us. That was about the average. I remember it always being like 31 people in the, that's a cat? Oh, so it's like 31 people to one teacher. And I think that's too large of a classroom. So we can't even get the attention. And now they don't care and they don't understand us. What the hell are we supposed to do at that point? So that's our foundation. That's where it starts. We don't have the building blocks to even compete at that point. Right. But at the same time, us as men, right, once you become an adult, you understand these things. And society is not going to change towards us. It's up to us to be able to persevere through that, right? It's always two types of people in the world. The people who do it, who can't do it because of, and then the people who did it in spite of. And there's which one do you think wins? We're going to be dealt these nasty hands. We're going to have a garbage hand sometimes, but we're going to have to find a way. The information is out there, right? You can find it now. It's not like back in the day. Anything that I wanted to know, I had to go to the Encyclopedia Britannica or whatever to dig it up. Right now, all the information is at the tip of your fingers. If you want to learn something, if you want to go to school late, whatever it is that you want to do, as an adult, we're held responsible for all of our actions. And we do understand what's right and what's wrong. Once you start seeing how society operates and you see that you are left behind, by the time you're 17, 18 years old, you're like, all right, something's, because this could have happened to me. I wasn't going on the perfect path when I was younger, but then I saw that there were many things wrong and the direction that I was going was not going to work. So I had to make the necessary changes. I had to say, you know what? Nah, this ain't it. Let me see what I can do here. The information is out there. Anything that you need to learn, you could learn it from the internet. There's so many other ways that you can make money aside from the conventional ways that we're used to nowadays. We have these opportunities. Most of us can make money doing what it is that we're doing right now, and for some of us, it is a good source of income. It's not conventional. You'll have to do your studies. You'll have to do your research. You'll have to do it, take it seriously, but you can still do it. There's so many different ways. We're in a capitalist society right now, so that you don't have to have an education per se to make money. There's nothing that you can say, oh, well, you don't have this, so this can't be your result. You can come up with good results from so many different avenues right now. So we just have to understand that this is what we're going to be dealing with, and we're going to have to do better at it.
All right, we're gonna go to Cherish and then we'll go to
Mr. Lego.
I do agree with the video and everything. We're in fallen times. Our government is corrupt. Our schools, our families are dysfunctional. Our relationships are divisive. I agree on a biological, systemic, and cultural level that these barriers for men are present. And I feel like we need to hold more space for boys and men. And those of you that do have platforms and have voices, we need to get very creative with solutions and kind of heal these systems at the root from the inside out. I think it's very obvious and present that these things are here. So I think that solution is what we need to think about now. And when it comes to solution, it's not an individual thing. I feel like if we start by zooming out a little bit more, maybe start with families and things like that, we can build the blocks. But yeah.
Thank you. Mr. Lego.
All right, I'll start off by saying that most of us males were or are not raised in a household with the adult versions of ourselves like most young girls are raised. Like most of us had our mothers. We didn't have a male adult. I mean, we didn't have a male version of us or an adult version of us growing up. So altogether, we're being raised by a woman instead of by a man. So when y'all say modern men are sassy, well, y'all are the ones that are raising the sassy men because men don't necessarily raise sassy men. But none of these children, just like us, were raised by men. So that's the first thing. And the woman's prefrontal cortex does develop earlier than men because women bear children, right? But if you look at this in a different way, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because not only are we looking at this from a biological standpoint that women, develop faster than men, but from a socialization standpoint, women are forced to develop faster than men also. More women are R'd, more women are M'd, more women are pushed to be, you got to go to school, you got to do this, you got to do that. A lot of us as males, we were able to go outside and be kids. So to a certain degree, women developing faster, you're actually, to a certain degree, and depending on how you grew up, you're actually becoming more traumatized along with that. So not only is your prefrontal cortex bigger or more developed, your amygdala is actually being filled with more trauma. And now, because you have a female counterpart in your house versus us, we get to go outside and be a kid and explore the world and figure out, what's right and what's wrong while you're in the house with your female counterpart, your mother, telling you what to do, what to not to do. She's instilling her fears in you. She probably has been R'd or M'd or treated badly by men. So she's instilling all of her trauma into you instead of into us.